Hi, and welcome to my wonderful Knitting Life YouTube channel. My name is Margaret, and this is a mostly knitting channel. However, I also like to talk about crochet and other crafty goodness that I get involved in. Today, I have a special project to share with you, and I also have lots of life updates, which I will add to the end of my video. So those of you who are just here for the knitting and the crafts, you don't have to stick around for that if you don't want to. I would like to welcome new subscribers and new watchers. There have been a number of new subscribers lately. You are most welcome here. And if you are new today watching this video and this channel, this is episode 23. And you are more than welcome to subscribe and like and support my channel. All right, so let's get started. So beside me, I'm going to talk a little bit out of order today. I'm not going to start with what I'm wearing. I'm going to start with what I have sitting beside me in my vase. This is a very special vase. This was one of my mother's, and I have found a new use for it. So a couple of weeks ago, I was watching a wonderful podcast called Fleece and Harmony. This is a woolen mill that is in Prince Edward Island in Canada. And I forgot to mention that I am in Canada and I am in the province of Ontario at my family cottage near Ottawa. Anyway, I was watching a Fleece and Harmony with Kim and Betsy and Simone, and it is a wonderful channel if you get the chance to take a look at it. And Betsy has started a new project of crocheting flowers. And I became super curious about this project that she had started and quite enamored with it. So I took the suggestion of looking up the company called 𝐒𝐿𝐒. And they are from China, working out of China, I believe. And she said there were 6 ladies involved in this company. And originally they crocheted bouquets to sell, but they have started to make packages and sell both the yarn and the patterns. Although there's a lot of bouquet and flower patterns that are also for free. So I raced to my computer, took a look at that site, and tried to order. In hindsight, I now know what the problem was. I wasn't putting my address in as Canada. So I was having trouble with the ordering process. But I really wanted to dive down this rabbit hole. So I did find a kit on Amazon. And I ordered it, and it came the next day, which is really quite a miracle for me, because I used to have to wait a week or two for things to come from Amazon where I was living and teaching in Quebec prior to finally moving and retiring here, which I have done in the last month. So lots of that in the live chat. Anyway, my package arrived. Super cute package for this floral bouquet that I chose, and I can add the link below. I don't know the name of the company offhand, but it came beautifully packaged, and I'll try to insert a picture because it was just adorable with all these little yarn balls that are so perfectly aligned in the bag. I do have it here with me, but obviously I've been digging into it and using it for the purpose of making the flowers that are sitting beside me now. But beautifully packaged, came with an instruction booklet, which is right here. And this is the one that I ordered. There weren't a lot on Amazon, but this one really spoke to me. I loved the colors. And there's a picture in the back also of the whole bouquet if you choose to do everything that is basically in that package. And they do send you everything except for the glue gun. There's the paper to wrap it in, the ribbon, the wires, absolutely everything that you would possibly need. So a fantastic kit. The only downside that I have found with this kit is that the yarn is quite splitty, and I do find that to be, well, I did in the beginning. I found it super annoying. And I've gotten used to it, so now it's not a problem at all. But if I was a true beginner, I think that would just have really let me down, and I would have found that too hard to continue with. But at the moment, I'm just zooming through this. They send you the wires as well, because some of the projects require wires in the petals as well as the stems. And what I have done so far, although I just found some cat hair on one of them, I have completed 2 of the, are these the lilac? I think they called these the lilacs. And what I decided to do when I did mine was bunch one up a little bit tighter and not put the leaves in the same spot. So I just kind of thought that was a little bit more artistic. And this one here, this one is called a tulip, but an open tulip, and they also have closed tulips to go with this project. So I've done these, and I have to say this is one of the most fun things I have done in a long time. I am like looking online to see what else I can learn about this. I can't wait to start the next flower. It was a really big thing a little while ago when people were knitting the crochet chickens or the knitted comfort chicken. And that just didn't really speak to me. I had no interest in doing that project. But this one has just got me. My mom loved to collect dishes and crystal, and you can see there's some very, very big vases behind me up here, which I have stuffed with yarn at the moment. I just really didn't know what to do with them. So I have a little one here that I've got with some plastic in to support my flowers when I put them in the vase. But I thought these would just be so me to do some of these and put them in the vase. But this morning, my daughter and I were looking at 𝐒𝐿 again, and I do think I might be tempted to purchase one of their packages now I figured out how to order from them. But I would highly, highly recommend this project. It's so much fun. And as far as the what comes as the suggested bouquet, I think for me, I think I might be, doing a little bit of switching it up a little bit, trying maybe they said 2 of these lavenders. I might do 3. I still have some purple yarn. I found a sunflower online today, and I think I might use the yarn that I have to make that. So you're not constricted into just doing what you get. You can use it for whatever you want to do. So the world's your oyster with that, but so much fun. Really just fun, and a great summer project because you don't have a big bulky sweater on your lap. So I would highly, highly recommend that. So I'll just move this out of the way, and I will talk about what I'm wearing, because this top connects to 2 other things I'm going to show you today. So I have a pattern book. My goodness, I've got a lot of things here to show today. I have a pattern book that I bought at a store called Wool Time in Ottawa. And this is called Fashion Moments Magazine 014. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of the company here. But I fell in love with this little top on the front. And my oldest daughter made one in creams and browns and beiges. And it fit her just wonderfully, so wonderfully that my youngest daughter, who doesn't really knit and crochet, asked me to make her one. And I did. This is the one that I made her. And it has been on my Instagram as I've been working on it. And I should say that I do have Instagram. I am My Wonderful Knitting Life on Instagram, and My Wonder Knit Life, I believe that's what it is, on Ravelry, but I will put that in the show notes. So I had made this for her, and she decided that it was just a little bit too short. So I added a couple of rows of double crochet, and then I did this shell edging to finish it off. And we're super happy with the way it looks. She's really happy with the length, and she's worn it to work, and it's super, super cute. I would love to make one of these for myself, but I am, as you can probably tell, very freckled and fair and redheaded, and I burn really bad in the sun. So I generally try to keep my skin mostly covered, and I suppose I could make one and wear like a blouse on top, but I've got other projects at the moment, so I will continue to show you those ones. So the one that I'm wearing here, I'll just stand up and see if I can give you, whoop, tripping over my own feet. So this one I have made from this book, and oh yes, this is made from a Katia yarn that I got on sale at Wool Time, and it is a 100% cotton. And I will try to write what it is in the show notes as well. I don't know if that is still sold, but it's a lace, it's like a lace weight cotton that this requires, these patterns require that are in this book. So the top that I have on is this one right here, same book. And I just really fell in love with the colorway, and the yarn is called, I did write some notes down, which have come in really handy lately. Yeah, this is in the original yarn that the pattern was written for, and it is called Tahiti, and it is a fine cotton yarn. And I don't think I have the amount of yarn that's on the ball, but it to me, it's a lace weight. It's not a fingering. And that seems to work for the pattern very well. Now, what I'm working on right now is from the same book. And the book is practically falling apart because we love it so much and we've used it such a lot. So this one I really liked because it has a bit of a sleeve. And again, I generally don't wear things that expose too much skin because in the summer I burn really quickly and badly. And this one is top S9489. And I am using this yarn, which is called Creative Melange Lace. There we go, that's a bit better. And it is a 50-gram ball with 260 meters in it. It is 95% cotton and 5% polyester. And it's incredibly soft. So I've been working on my crochet triangles. And what happened with this yarn, which was super interesting, was they all have this color on the outside. So the orange, the dark kind of burgundy. And I assumed that the whole ball was the same color, but it is a very slow changing colorway. So my triangles are coming out in all different colors, which is so much fun. Some are really dark orange, some are pinks and purples. And originally what I was thinking of doing was sewing them together as I went. But now that I'm seeing that there's such a different colorway with all of them, what I'm going to do is make them all, and I need 54 of them. And I think I have about 18 at the moment. I'm going to make them all, lay them out with the schematic, and then sort of move them around until I'm happiest with how the colors are working beside each other. So I am doing quite a bit of crochet, but there is some knitting in here as well. So let me see, is that all the crochet? I think so. I think that's my crochet projects. So I am making notes. One of the things that I'm really bad at doing is digging into a project really quickly, getting super excited about it. And then I get sidetracked or something happens in my life and I don't pick it up for a while. And when I go to pick it back up, I lose my place and I can't remember specific details about it or if I've made any changes at all in the project. So I have been writing notes, and I have started a little book, which I'm pretty sure one of my students gave me as a gift way back when. But I'm finding it's really coming in handy to keep myself a little bit more organized. So I have a finished project, which I've shown on the podcast before. I finished a pair of socks, which are super vibrant and fun. These socks, I followed a basic vanilla pattern. I used 64 stitches and I did about 20 rows of 2x2 ribbing to start with. But what I often do when I cast on, I do one knit row before I go into the 2x2 ribbing, and that gives you a little bit of a cute, kind of looks like an I-cord edging, and I do have to say that I like it and it makes my life easy. Because this yarn is striped, I decided just to knit it with nothing special. I did a heel flap and gusset, but for this one, for the first time, I followed Nancy Wheeler, who has a podcast called Knit Sip Happy. I followed her idea of doing the 3 garter stitches on both sides of the heel flap. And that makes it incredibly easy to pick up your stitches when you're ready to do that. And it was really easy with this one. With the heel and the toe being gold, I could see those stitches really, really well. But the other sock that I'm going to show you, I had a lot more trouble with that. I think that's about it because it's just a basic vanilla sock. The yarn is from Scrumptious Purl, and this is an older colorway because I bought this off of the Canada Yarn D-Stash Facebook group. So this is probably a colorway that they don't have anymore, but they have some really amazing colorways if you want to go and check out their page, their online store. This color, or this base, is called Stripe Me Up, and it is an 80/20, and the colorway is Cake for Breakfast. So those are a finished object. So, oh, I'm bouncing this around. I hope that's not affecting the camera. So I have another pair of socks that I started, and this pair is also made out of Scrumptious Purl, and I got it from the same person who was selling on the Canadian D-Stash Facebook group. So this one's really, really vibrant. And it, they came with minis, and this is the mini that came with this. And this is a fantastic dark aubergine purple. I did a heel flapping gusset. And I also did the this 3-stitch garter edging that made it easy to pick up. But with this color, I actually found it not that easy to see. I had to get full light out and put my glasses on and all of that to pick those up. So that's something I'm going to be thinking about in the future about heels and just socks in general, of how dark the yarn I want to really do, because I found that really tricky. So this is, again, Scrumptious Purl. The base is Stripe Me Up. It's an 80/20, and the colorway is called Poolside. And when I first saw it, I thought of pool noodles. I thought maybe that's why they called it Poolside. But then I also thought it kind of looked like Skittles too. So all sorts of great colors in this one. It is also a vanilla sock. I cast on 65 stitches on this one. And what I did is when I cast on and then joined, I slipped 1 stitch over the first stitch in the round. So I ended up with 64 stitches, but it kind of pulls it together so you don't have a gap at the beginning of your round. And that, I don't know, just makes life easy. For this one, I started ribbing right away. I didn't even realize that I was doing it. I just got right into the rib and it seemed to go really well. It's a 2x2 rib, and there was something else I did different with this one. Oh yeah. So what I did is where the color changed in the yarn, that's where I made my slip stitch to start knitting. So I got a little pop of the purple at the top, and then it just went right into the stripes. So I will try to do the same thing with my second sock so that I get a matching pair. I'm not very matchy-matchy, and I'm not super fussy about that. But you know what, once in a while, it's fun to give that a try. So I think that is it for this sock that is in progress. All right, on to some more knitting. So I have a cowl that I started a little while ago, and I've shown before on the podcast. So this cowl is called Romanian folk-inspired neck warmer on Ravelry. And I used a Rauma PT2 to make this cowl with the blue and the cream. Loved the pattern. Really memorizable color. My goodness, I'm losing my words. Fair Isle work up here. And that seemed to go really fast, but it starts with a bit of ribbing and it ends with a bit of ribbing. And what I found was that it was curling, and I tried blocking it and I couldn't really get rid of the curl. So I thought, you know, maybe I will put some fleece on the inside and I'll sew that in, and that'll be just really warm for skiing in the winter. And then I kind of got this idea that maybe what I would do is just knit another cowl attached to it. And I do have a purl row here at the top so that it'll naturally fold over there. And I will have basically a reversible cowl with two different patterns. And because this is going to fold over, it just hopefully will take care of that rolling. And being where we are, even though I'm not going to be up north anymore in the winter, it still gets pretty cold here sometimes when I go snowshoeing or skiing or even walking the dogs. And this just might really come in handy. So this is also Rauma PT2, but it is a different pattern and it is two different colors. I did not have the colors for this in more yarn balls. So I decided to do a completely different but complementary color combination. And on the second side that I'm working on, this is a Ravelry pattern and it is also free. And it is called the Wave and Box Cowl. And this is a fantastic little pattern for somebody who wants to try working with two colors, who is a more beginner knitter. It's not difficult. It uses slip stitches in order to do the little boxes on the cowl. So I've been plugging away on that. And even though I could maybe call this finished in a way, it's not, because I have to finish the other side. But I'm really enjoying that. It's not a hard knit. And again, nice and lightweight for summer, because having a full sweater in your lap is hot. It's not a cool day today. I think it's maybe hitting about 30 Celsius outside. All right, so I've got my Sorrel sweater on the go. And I did pick this up for a little bit, and I worked on the fade going down. So I'll just get this out of this wonderful bag, and I'm going to show this off because this fabulous bag was made by a really good friend of mine. She decided she was just going to play with making bags, and she was kind enough to gift this one to me. It has pockets at the front. It has a pocket inside. And what I most love about it is it has a pull top. And it can work as a bucket bag too as I'm knitting. The reason why I really like the pull top is because I find with zippers, I'm really bad at getting my yarn caught in them. So it's just perfect for knitting. So thank you very much, Tina. I love this. All right. So I just tried this on actually. So I do have some barber cords on the bottom. So forgive all the stuff that's going on here. So this is my Sorrel sweater by Woolen Pine. I have worked almost the whole body down to the bottom. And it looks like there's a bit of a line there on camera, but really you don't really see that much in person. It's interesting what different lighting does. I've almost done the whole body. I'm ready to do the rib, but I'm going to do the sleeves first just to make sure that I get a length that I really like. I tend to like sweaters that are a little bit long, as I'm quite tall, and short sweaters just do not look good when you're really tall, I find. But really enjoying this. One thing that I'm loving even more is how incredibly soft it is. I am using a Holst sock hand dyed for this, and Holst titicaca, and I'm holding them together, and I'm just changing out the titicaca color to get the fade. So I had a bit of a trouble finding a yarn, a third color, and I had to do another order, but I'm quite happy with the way it is turning out. And it's just really soft. I tried it on. It fits. I wouldn't want to gain any weight because it's fitted, but I think it's going to stretch a little bit too, you know, when I wash it and block it. But looking forward to getting that one done. But again, it's warm, so I don't know how much I'll be working on that until maybe September comes around. All right, now let me see if there's anything else. Ah, yes. Okay, acquisitions. So, oh, my chair is very squeaky. So I have, for those of you who are new here, I have been a teacher for 34 years, and I decided in March that I was going to hand in my retirement papers. I don't know what the future holds for me. I'm really just kind of going to wait and see how things go. My youngest daughter has moved in with me. She's graduated and she has found a job near the cottage. So I am driving her each day and picking her up. She doesn't have her driver's license yet, but we are working on that. And since being back, I came back on the 18th of June. There's been an enormous amount of unpacking and sorting. There's a lot of stuff here. My oldest daughter doesn't live here, but she did. So a lot of things are hers. A lot of my parents' things are here. So there's just a whole lot of cleaning out to do and sorting and deciding what we're going to keep and what we're not going to keep. And it's hard. It's emotional. And I'm sure many of you have had to do that yourselves. But another thing that I'm really noticing about being back here permanently, rather than just rushing around for 7 weeks and going back to work, is that I can't ignore some of the things that need to be done here anymore. There's projects that have to be sorted out. And one of them is we need a new wood stove. The one that we have right now is gorgeous, but the insurance situation is not good with it. I would not want to use it anymore because in 1983, wood stoves came into new regulations. So the antique ones, unfortunately, can't be used. So it's going to have to go, and I need to get a new one. And I've been doing that. I went to a town called Carleton Place. They have a wood stove fireplace center there. And, you know, that's not really a great way to spend a day when you're a knitter. So I had to make the best of it. And I found a yarn store that is in Carleton Place or just outside of it in the countryside. And I paid them a visit after I had done the errand of looking at wood stoves. And they weren't actually open. I pulled up to this lovely store called The Maker's Lodge. And nobody was there, and I read the sign and they were closed on Tuesday. So I was just about to drive off, and the owner, Christine, popped in and said, "Oh, you know what? Come on in. I have a Zoom call. No worries. You can look around. I live next door. You know, we have summer hours because I have kids, but you're more than welcome." So I looked around, and I'm kind of on a yarn diet at the moment because I do have a lot that I need to use. But I did find a beautiful, beautiful crochet top. And I didn't buy the yarn for it, but I did pick up the pattern because I just fell in love with it. And this top is called Harbor Top, spelt without a U. I'm Canadian, so we like to spell things with a U. And I just thought, you know what? I think I probably can find something to make that up with. And crocheting, if you are a crocheter, you will know is a lot quicker than knitting. It uses more yarn than knitting, so that's something to be aware of when you are purchasing. But it is such a lot of fun. And this is double crochets and single crochets. It's got a chevron kind of thing going on in it, and I just thought that would be super fun. And it has a little cap sleeve, which I really like. So that's really my only acquisition apart from the crocheted flower kit. However, I did get another acquisition because I decided I was going to look up if there were any knitting groups in the area, and I found one that meets at the local library nearby on Monday mornings. And I thought, you know what, I'll just take my socks and I'll just drop by. I'll see if anybody's there. And if not, nothing lost, because I have to drive into town anyway to drop my daughter off at work. So I went, and there were 3 lovely people there. And I ended up coming away from the hour-and-a-half little knitting group with a beautiful jar of strawberry rhubarb jam. One lady was sharing her jam that she had made. So I have that in the fridge, and I thought, you know what, that is just the sweetest thing ever. And I've been going ever since. And I think I've been 4 times now. And I think I've met a total of 7 or 8 people that are in the group. Maybe there's about 10 in total. So I haven't completely met everybody. But I don't know, it was just really nice to meet new people, and very interesting women who have lived full lives, lots to talk about. We're never bored. So that's something super new. And another thing that I have decided to do is take piano lessons. I have a piano here. My mom was a pianist, and she actually had 3 pianos, but we only kept one, and we moved it to the cottage when she passed away. And I took lessons when I was a child up to the age of 12. And I wasn't a great piano student. I did pass my Royal Conservatory grade 3 by the skin of my teeth. And I worked on grade 4 for a little while, but I just wasn't very cooperative. And there was a lot going on in my family at that time. My father had a stroke and became an invalid for the rest of his life and didn't work anymore. And my grandmother, around the same time, was diagnosed with lung cancer and passed away when I was 12. That's my mom's mom. So it was not an easy time at all. And piano lessons just got shelved, and it was not at my time my thing. I was more of an outdoors kid, always looking out the window when I was in school, and really wanted to be outside instead of inside. But I love music. I love classical music, all kinds. I grew up listening to classical music because my mom played it all the time. And I just thought, you know what? I really want to do this. So I have had 4 lessons. I started with a grade 1 piece, and now I'm working on 2 grade 3 pieces. So I'm almost picking up where I left off as a child, which is really interesting. Our brains remember so much. Even though we might think it's gone, it's still there. But I'm really enjoying it. I have a wonderful teacher. She's probably no more than 28 years old. And I have to say, it's rather intimidating being a student. A good lesson for a teacher to be a student, but I do have a bit of anxiety when I play for her. I make lots of mistakes, and I've played really well at home. So I actually took a recording of myself to show her what I can do at home compared to when I'm with her. But I think with time, I'll get past the nerves, which hopefully will happen soon. Let me think what else is new. So this morning, my daughter and I went on a bike ride, and we decided to challenge ourselves a little bit more than we usually do. And we rode up to a little town nearby and had a popsicle, and we rode back. And we took a whole pile of pictures on the bike ride. And Kim from Fleece and Harmony always shows these beautiful pictures of Prince Edward Island and Canada, of her farm and surrounding area. at the end of her podcast. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that today. So if you hang around at the end, you'll see the pictures that we took on our bike ride. And I really do love flowers. So we took quite a few flower pictures of wildflowers that we found at the side of the road. So that was lots of fun. We ran into some gentlemen who had ridden from Gatineau, which is not close to here. And they told us they were doing a 130-kilometer ride today. So we said, well, we're only going 25 kilometers, but at least we're doing it. Sorry, my daughter came in and the dogs barked, so I had to pause. So I'll add those pictures at the end and hopefully you can enjoy them. I also want to give a big thank you to the channel, The 3 a.m. Knitter. She gave me a shout out recently in her last episode. She has a wonderful channel. So if you get the chance to drop by, I'm sure she'd love to have you there. And I will try to link her channel in the show notes below. So enjoy the pictures. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying lots of summer projects and knitting. And hopefully I will be back sometime in August. I plan on going to the Twist Fiber Festival. And I'm also planning on going to the Almont Fiber Festival in September. So maybe I will see some of you there. If you see me, please say hi. It would be wonderful to connect. And if you've enjoyed this content today, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, everybody, take care. Happy knitting.